Okay, so let's take a look at how you can open Oracle Machine Learning Notebook in Oracle Cloud. So we will go through the workflow starting from your instance of data warehouse all the way to Oracle Machine Learning Notebook. Right. So log into your Oracle Cloud, and here you will have to go to menu, click Oracle Databases, then Autonomous Databases. Here you will have to create one data warehouse, right? So I pick the compartment, then unique display name, database name, then data warehouse chosen as a workload. I selected the shared infrastructure. You can pick dedicated if you have credits or payment setup. Then I pick the always free option, right? You can pick the resource based on your option, right? Then that would be one thing you can do. Next thing, you pick the database version, and also you can move on to admin credentials. Here you will have to give it a password and then choose network access so that it can access from everywhere. There is also MTLS authentication that you can tick, and there is license included for your addition of Oracle. When everything is done, you can click on create autonomous database, right? Then you will have your data warehouse in the list like this. Right now here you can see that I have this data warehouse setup, and it has database actions, connections, performance, like tabs here. Click on one of the button named database actions within the tab, right? So we click on that. It will open a new tab within your browser, and you will be getting the access to the dashboard like this. Click on top menu, and here you will have database users option. Now you are the default admin, so currently you don't have OML access, and even if you do get access, you will be limited to some of the operations. So the default user in OML, also known as Oracle Machine Learning, is developer account. So to get that, what we can do is we go to the menu, click on database users, and instead of that I will just show you how OML looks. And once we logged in, here you can see it has very limited set of options. On the top of that, it would limit your use of OML to using it for notebooks. You don't have access to some of the features, so being admin you will be forced to create some of the secondary accounts, and those accounts have to be developer accounts, right? Now what I can do is that I will set up a user. So go to administration, and I will set up the user. Right now here you can see create user option. Here I will give it username, then password. I will enable the graph, web access, and the most important is setting up with this toggle button OML access. You can set the quota to unlimited or whatever the available limit you have, right? Then you can choose the web access, set the authorization, right? And everything is said and done, you are ready to create the user. You can also do one more thing, is set the granted roles. So think about your cloud account like a user that has key to a variety of operations, right? So in order to allow another user with those type of operations, you can come to this specific area, grant him the access to some of those features, and then click on create user, right? And once you do that, you can go ahead and create user over there, right? So this should give you an idea what that user can do based on the roles. But our context here is specific to Oracle machine learning, where that service you can use by simply using one of the user, right? So once you do that, you can say create user and then come over here, right? And you have all the list of available users. So some of them are system generated and some, like this one, we created. And here you can see OML enabled, right? Now open another window and then we will copy this particular URL for this user's backend, right? And we will hit enter. We will be able to see database actions page. Here we type in username, then in password field we will be typing in or pasting in the password that we used previously while creating that user. Now I will paste in the username, click on sign in. Now here you see the new user also has same set of options like our admin. However, there are some limitations. As you can see, lot of feature from administration are removed and also limit on data studio related services too, right? Other options you do have like admin based on the roles that you have granted, but you can see that this is specific to this user alone. You can't edit, remove, admin and so on. So if we go here and specifically click on Oracle machine learning, it will open a new tab, right? Now here you will be typing in the username and then pasting in password and click on sign in. Once you sign in, the dashboard will show you some of the actions that you can take on as a developer. You can also take a look at sidebar for the options allowed to you. So you have notebooks, AutoML experiment models, templates, jobs, right? And then you also have your workspace settings at the top and preferences for account. So considering you are the developer here within OML, you get to create a notebook, right? And that's the goal of this entire process. So click on notebooks, right? So if you are not admin, then setting up this entire flow won't be of use to you. You will be only given the URL to log into this area of Oracle machine learning. You will get username and password and you get to this page to create notebook, right? So let's do that. Create a notebook. Click on create. Let's name this something like sample notebook. So tutorials and samples to be executed in this notebook. So I will click on OK. Now this will create a notebook. It may take some time. And if you are familiar with Oracle machine learning or machine learning in general, you will be able to pick up lot quickly. So if you have background from Python and R, you already know that this is the notebook interface, right? You have like a run button, right? Then other options for handling the notebook, right? You can also see the export that just happened within JSON format. Then you have option to search the entire code, and if you just want to execute this paragraph, you can use the run option or shift enter, right? As you can see, we managed to create a notebook, or you can see sample notebook in Oracle machine learning, and that pretty much does the work, right? And next would be you would have to work on your code or your lab examples, or if you are making use of any enterprise data for running through your OML, you can do so from here. So we pretty much managed to create an instance of our Oracle data warehouse. Then we created a user under that database, and then given that access to that user to OML, and then that user enters into the dashboard and creates this notebook, right? So now you will be able to go through entire workflow. So we can recap on that. So first we started with our Oracle Cloud, then we went to Oracle databases, then click on autonomous database, right? Then we created autonomous database warehouse, which gets listed here. Now in order to access the database actions, I will click on this tab. It should give me launchpad like this. Then I went to option to create database users. It should look something like this. Then to create a new user, I will click on this button. I added the username, password, given it access to graph, web access, OML. Also set the tablespace data quota, and then created the user. Once created the user, you can get its own backend URL. I opened that in another browser window so that two simultaneous sessions can run and doesn't have any conflict. Then I clicked on Oracle Machine Learning, which should take you to this particular section. As you can see, you can go back to notebooks. Here I created a new notebook and it looks like this. Right, so this was pretty much the workflow for me. So you get the idea how to set up your Oracle Machine Learning account, how to create a new notebook, and how to access it for a variety of data operations.